people. This is the El Donzo and Deez show.
I'm El Donzo.
I am Deez, and I want to once again remind you, check out all of our socials. You can find us on X at El Donzo Deez or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/El Donzo Deez. And of course, most important of all, youtube.com/El Donzo Deez. Give us a like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Also have my sports show Hanging with Deez that goes live every week, and be actually doing that tonight, Friday. So
now we talked a little bit. I think Deez reminded me last week about this thing in Connecticut. Do you have that story pulled up? We're tying it into the voter fraud thing. Pennsylvania was flipping votes. If you voted for this guy, it flipped it to a yes for the other guy. So you got that pulled up?
Yeah, in Connecticut, the September 12th mayoral primary election results in Bridgeport were overturned by a judge due to voter fraud. It was scheduled to take place November 7th, but we pushed back until Democratic primary re-election occurs. I think they had some surveillance video that showed some pretty sketchy stuff going on. So
ballot stuffing. They were putting like dozens of stacks of ballots, I think, in the drop boxes.
Surveillance showed a woman on Ganem's campaign staff. Ganem was one of the candidates. Jesus, say it.
Wow.
Idiot, right? Anyway, they caught her stuffing the old ballot box, so they nuked it, and now they're going to do it again. So small scale, but at the same time, it just goes to show that it can happen.
Well, and that's why I wanted to bring that up and tie it in. So anybody says, well, the election is secure and you can't flip votes and this isn't wrong and there's no way Trump... No, this is further evidence. This is why we get concerned about this stuff.
Yep.
Wendy, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to stuff your effing ballot box. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Okay. So since we got that out of the way, just like I said, further evidence that this stuff is going on. So when somebody goes, there's no way the 2020 election was... Oh, no. They never really investigated these claims. They just threw them out. Okay? There's nothing we can do about it now, except for try to correct this going forward. There's no way we can go back to 2020 and recoup this. All right? It's not going to happen. There's going to be no investigations. This is so bad they're getting ready to throw the Republican nominee, which I'm just going to call him the nominee. There's no other way around it. In jail. They're trying everything they can do. So there's no way we can go back in time. We have to move forward, but we have to keep this in mind, and we have to correct it. And we have to elect people that are going to correct it. No more rhinos. Get sick and tired of these people that don't give a damn about our country. Now, Louder with Crowder, okay, got a hold of some pages from Audrey Hale, who was the transgender transgender
Nashville,
female,
correct?
Transgender male, but she's a female. Yeah, Nashville, the Nashville school shooter, that killed 6 people. It was 3 adults and 3 9-year-olds, I think it was. And now, as a result of that, we're going to go over it. 7 Nashville detectives have been suspended because supposedly it came from them. Now, the original report was that one of the detectives or detectives or officers. We don't know exactly who it was, but 7 detectives have been suspended as of today, I believe. The original story was that one of them sold it. Now, I say if they released it, which we've all been wanting to see this, good on them. If one of them sold it to make a profit, then I'm not so happy about that. But on the other hand, knowing that this got out, yeah, maybe sell it, because you're going to get fired, but at least you got it out there. And why don't you take some money, bank away? I don't know. I see different things to that. But this is pretty bad, and I think this is why they didn't want it out. Now, a lot of people say they didn't want this, that the families and the police department and the city of Nashville didn't want this out. But this is disturbing stuff. Did you get a chance to read any of this?
Just a couple of little blurbs, not much of it.
She had been psyching herself up for this for a long time. Said stuff like, can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm ready. I hope my victims aren't. That she wanted to kill as many of those... I don't think I can say it. FAGGOT cracker kids as I can, and about being white privilege. And remember, she was white too, and calling them the F word. and she's a transgender.
The other F word.
The other F word, yeah.
The one that our generation used to call our friends all the time.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Yeah, you can't do that anymore. But Audrey Hale can. Remember, if they're gay, they can do it. You know, just like if you're African American, you can say the N-word. But she had this all leveled out. She was like 7 a.m., get dressed, eat breakfast, pack up special belongings, test glass breaker. 10 a.m., leave for Royal Range. I don't know what that is. Gear up. But she's lock and load and make videotape, and she had all this planned out. She says, kill those kids, those crackers, going to private fancy schools with those fancy quackies, I think khakis, and sports backpacks. A lot of misspelling. She should have probably paid attention to school. With their, spelled Thier. She's 28 years old. She's got a degree. With her daddy's Mustangs and convertibles. F those little sticks.
Wait. Their daddy's Mustangs, and she spelled it what?
Thier.
IER. Okay.
Yeah.
She had the right letters. I mean, let's give her a little credit for that.
I wish to shoot you weakness, you mop yellow hair, kill all you little crackers, bunch of little gits, your white privilege, and once again, F you this and F you that. And so
she sounds stable.
She's absolutely not stable. She said they actually could have caught her in 2021 planning this. So this chick obviously had issues. Mental issues beyond
She didn't have issues. She had subscriptions.
She had the full-blown subscriptions, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
But this needed to be out. Now you got these 7 Nashville detectives suspended. You know, why is it if a white guy goes and shoots up a place, we know immediately, we see his manifesto and all his racist writings, but why wouldn't they let this out? Because this goes against a narrative. They cannot have you think for a minute that somebody is transgender and has been brainwashed into thinking all their problems are somebody else's.
It also kind of shows that maybe the gun wasn't the problem. It was the fact that she was bat crazy.
Yeah, bat sticks crazy is what she was. So, well, this is developing. We'll see what else comes out of this. I don't know how much more Crowder's got, but there was only 3 or 4 pages on his website. But it's good he got it out there. Now, kind of breaking the fray a little bit. Did you hear about The Simpsons?
The opening little thing about choking.
Yeah. Well, that was a big thing, and I watched The Simpsons for years. I don't watch them anymore. I mean, I'm grown up now, but it's been on 35 or 36 years, hasn't it?
It was in the 90s. I want to say it was like 1990.
I think it was before that.
Well,
it was in the 80s when the first cartoons came out.
It started on the Tracy Ullman Show, but I think it was either 88, 89 or the very, very early 90s, because I got sent home from school in Florida in like 1990, I believe it was, for wearing a Bart Simpson. I said, "I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?"
Oh.
So that they were going to make me change. So I had to call my dad, and he walks in with the Faster Pussycat shirt, which I told on one of our after hours stories. But yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. Maybe it was late 80s.
It was late 80s when it came out. So anyway, one of the long-running shticks that the show was known for was when Bart would do something or mess something up, Homer would go, "Why, you little," and he'd grab him by the neck and start strangling him. His eyes would pop out, and nobody ever thought anything of it. Well, you know, they said now, the show said, well, times have changed, so they're not going to have that in there. Well, you know, I got a question.
It's a cartoon.
Your kids can go on TikTok and see all forms of nastiness. They can go on the internet and look up any kind of pornography. And, you know, it's so bad that your children can get on YouTube and watch our after hours show. That's how bad it is. And you're worried about Homer Simpson strangling Bart? I mean, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
And speaking of cartoons, for those of us that have grown up, and even in our older years, loving all things Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, blah, 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 but have grown so incredibly sick of how woke they have become with our favorite franchises. They're ruining it. And it continues with the Marvels, which is just getting absolutely destroyed in the reviews from the public, not necessarily the paid shills. But South Park's latest special is called Into the Panderverse, and holy hell, do they annihilate Disney and Kathleen Kennedy for all of the crap that they just keep spewing out. It is absolutely hysterical if you haven't seen it and you're a South Park fan and you're sick of what's Disney's done to your favorite characters and whatnot, you have to watch it because it's unbelievably funny.
I didn't think, what was it, 24 years ago when South Park came out? Was it 23, 20? It was right around 99, wasn't it?
Yeah, something in there.
Something in there. I didn't think that Trey Parker and Matt Stone would be, bastions of common sense.
Right. They are the voice of the voiceless.
They really are.
They don't care about anybody's opinion. If they think it's funny, they're going to do it. And yeah, I would put Kathleen Kennedy, who is like one of the top CEOs of Disney Studios or whatever, I would probably put her on suicide watch right now because they absolutely eviscerated her on this special.
Well, they should be, and more people should be standing up and doing this.
Yeah.
Because you're right, they're ruining it. You go to even watch a movie, like I went and watched the new Exorcist movie. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Yeah, I went and saw the new Exorcist. I was excited because the producers or director said, we're going to, get back to what made the original film good. I thought, okay, great. And it was nothing but wokeness in your face.
Yeah.
Just making all these points, and it just ruined it. It was literally probably 10% horror and 90% wokeness.
Shame.
Yeah, it ruined it. The only reason I stayed and watched it because I, bought the ticket.
Yeah, because you spent $40 to see a friggin' movie.
And bought popcorn for $15. Hey, welcome back to the El Donzo and D Show here on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. I am El Donzo.
I'm Deez.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, you want to catch us on YouTube, you can see Deez blowing smoke. Well, it's vape smoke. Vape smoke right into the camera. What kind of flavor vape do you do?
Grape.
That's why
just enough nicotine to not want to kill somebody.
I thought I kept smelling grape in the room today. This is the part of the show where we start getting into more obscure stuff and start doing stupid things.
Be less than serious.
Which is not compared to anything.
Everything we do is stupid. What are you talking about?
You called it the Mandela effect, right?
Uh-huh.
We're changing it to the Scott effect. I feel so stupid about this. Just call it the Scott effect. But this is where we get into the funny stupidity right here. Okay? Now, before we do that, though, and I've been following this. Did you hear about the Alabama preacher who was a drag queen?
I did.
Okay. So he was also, I believe it was the mayor of Smith Station, Alabama.
Yep, mayor of a small town, pastor, all that good stuff.
So at first I gave this guy some grace because the first thing that came out was, he was going online and he was just dressing in drag and his wife knew about it. And it was a way to get, okay, well, if you're dressing in drag and, talking about being a woman and transitioning. Okay, kind of felt bad for the guy who was out. It seems to be a conservative fellow. This comes out. That could be devastating for somebody. Well, it turns out he was doing racy stuff on there as well, talking about transitioning. He was writing erotic fiction, and he was talking about murdering a woman that he knows, and used her name in this stuff online, and this got spilled. Used her name in his erotic fiction, talked about murdering her and assuming her identity.
Now, see, I didn't hear that part.
Yes, this has just come out. Yeah, absolutely, it's just come out. And I guess after that happened, he begged the news outlet, which was, I think it was called 1819 was a news outlet. And this is it. He went by, let's get his name here. His name was Bubba Copeland, and he went by Brittany Blair, a transitioning transgender curvy girl that loves smiling clothes and shoes. Let's chat. And this was on Instagram. And so anyway, this news outlet got a hold of this, and he begged them not to release that. Well, they released it, and somebody did a wellness check on him. I guess it was local police that knew him. And they went to go pull him over. They saw his truck, and there was a bit of a chase. They just wanted to check on him. He got out, and he killed himself. So when I first heard about this, I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he's been outed. He's obviously got issues. He's a mayor. He's a pastor. He's going to lose a lot of support. And while this was breaking, he went and addressed his congregation, said, this is something I do in private, and I'm embarrassed, but this is who I am. And then this stuff comes out.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you see the picture of him and his wife?
Yeah.
And then look at the picture of just him as Brittany.
Looks like her.
It looks like they could be brother and sister.
Yeah, it does.
Of course, this is Alabama.
And well, good one. I see what you did there. So anyway, I thought that was weird. But that's one of those things you kind of feel bad for the guy at first. But then you see this stuff coming out that he was talking about people in town and mentioning their names and these fantasies about killing them. And he was writing this out. And it was no wonder that he, after that happened, that he would get to that point to where he had to take his own life. I mean, that would ruin him. And it probably was going to.
Oh, without question. I mean, it's a small town type thing, but I mean, you know how stuff gets around in towns, i.e., like the one we live in.
Oh, I know more than just as much as anybody else does.
Yeah, you can't fart around here without the whole damn town knowing about it.
So anyway, just one of those things where, we always talk about wait for the rest of the news to come out. But
yeah, I didn't hear that part of the story because I kind of was on the same boat as you. Like, that's kind of tragic that he felt so bad about being outed that he's just going to blow his brains out.
It turns out there was a lot more to it than that. But here, here's one of my things with this, though. If you're in this position, okay, now let's say you take a person that likes to dress up in drag. Maybe let's just take him at face value, that was just a stress relief, was to dress like a woman, okay, and he did it with his wife. These idiots go and put this out there on Instagram, and they come up with these, alter egos. Somebody's going to find it.
Yeah,
How stupid are you to put stuff like this on the internet, then freak out when somebody finds it?
You can't do anything online anymore, especially if you're a public figure, because there are people that are going to find it, regardless of how well you think you're hiding it. Eventually, it's all going to come out.
It serves. I hate to say it, but serves him right. Keep the stuff private. Obviously, I don't know. At first glance, I would say he wanted people to know, but obviously not. Obviously, he really thought he could get away with it, which is just stupid. Anything you put on the internet, and this is a lesson, tell your kids this. Anything you put on the internet is there forever. It never goes away.
There's always, and I mean, I could get on Twitter right now and post some kind of, whether it be violence or racism or whatever, one little tweet, and then 5 minutes later delete it. Somebody out there is going to screenshot that and save it and tuck it away in a little folder for a rainy day, just in case I would ever become famous for anything. They could bury me. And that's basically what happens with any public figure is, I've seen it happen with athletes all the time that, are coming up, whether it be in the NFL or whatever, like somebody that might be a draft. Somebody will go back into their socials and go as far back as they possibly can to find some kind of dirt to then make public. And, I can't remember there was a quarterback that was going to, projected to be a top pick, and they found something that he posted online when he was like 15.
God. Came back to haunt him, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, it's like these women, the Snapchat thing, okay? These women will send racy nude photos to guys on Snapchat, and, it goes away. It goes away after a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And they could still screenshot it for the longest time. Now I guess it sends a notification when it's been screenshotted.
That's been that way for almost the beginning, that you would get a notification that somebody screenshotted it. But
it doesn't matter. They've already screenshotted it.
Yeah, they've already got it. You can then delete them, block them, whatever. But the simple fact is they already have that screenshot, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
Don't put sticks on the internet that you don't want the the whole world about, okay?
Yeah, it's a very slippery slope out there.
You can't take that back. So, okay, did you hear about this? This Texas Southern University tuba player.
Yeah, I seen the video.
I mean,
that's hilarious.
So this guy's up there playing his tuba, having a good time, and this other idiot goes up and is yelling at him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's barking at him about something.
Distracting the guy. The kid's doing a good job. The kid just hauls off and starts punching him. Like, he hit him like 3 or 4 times, didn't he?
He's in the band. He wasn't hitting him hard.
Well, hit him hard enough to stun him.
You know how them band geeks are,
Shut up, Deez. Just because you have no musical talent. Well, neither do I. That's why I settled on the drums.
That's why you're a drummer.
Yeah. People ask me, why'd you settle on the drums, Aldonzo? It's because I had no musical talent. So I wanted to play something. Besides playing the I was just like,
Nah.
yeah, never mind. We're not. No.
Skin
No. Yeah, the bonophones. We're not doing that.
The jaxophone.
The jaxophone. So we got enough time here.
I'm impressed that like he in the video, it looks like he's still playing. Like as he's punching the guy in the face, he's still like got his mouth on the whatever you call it, on a tuba.
I got to hand it to him. I mean, he didn't really miss a beat.
Yeah.
I mean, but he gave the
He
that
gave
guy
a beat,
face.
that's for sure. But.
So one last thing I want to get to here, and then we're going to go into more Fooly Monkey Shines. This is Gateway Pundit headline. China plans to rapidly advance mass production of disruptive humanoid robots. Well, this is great. And they want to have 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030. In a perfect world, we should all be hailing the onset of the age of robots, it writes, as our burdens would be about to be shared by the mechanical, miraculous helpers. I guess it's not going to be good because China disclosed its new ambitious plans to mass-produce humanoid robots, which it says are poised to be as disruptive as smartphones. In a document published last week, China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology said the robots would reshape the world. Well, I'm sure that they're going to reshape it all right. What do you think?
Yeah.
How far
I've
does
seen
this
Terminator.
have to go? This is Skynet stuff.
Yeah.
So we're in an arms race right now. And it's not nuclear. Well, we are in a nuclear arms race. Everybody's making nukes. Now we're in an AI arms race, which, they want to put this thing in there.
They're not making, robots. They are making soldiers.
Yes, that's exactly
Make no
what they're
mistake
doing.
about it.
I was getting to that, and you beat me to the punch. They are making soldiers.
Yep. Soldiers that don't have to send letters to home. Soldiers that don't have families worried
don't have
about
emotions.
Their kids. Yep.
Yeah, but you know what? If this AI goes far enough, they just might. We were talking about that shows past about this AI is now.
Well, that's just the thing. Even if they make them with good intentions and they put AI in it, eventually AI is going to discover that humans are dicks and let's just eradicate them. And then we've got Terminator.
Well, you know what? And this is the thing, too. All these different fronts we got to worry about. And this Terminator stuff, and I just cannot believe that we're getting this. I'll tell you this much. They're almost debating using AI to control nuclear missile silos because they think that AI would be more responsible than we are.
Well, if we get through this current little skirmish going on without global war breaking out, I could see that eventually somebody being stupid enough to say, yeah, this is a good idea. And then again, like I said, once AI figures out that the human race is a disease, then we're all gone.
I'm Aldonzo.
I'm Deez.
And I got to lead off with this. I watched this, or I read this. New York Post is always good for some interesting stories. Are they not, Deez?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people knock them as a rag. I think they're a great news site. We get a lot of our stuff from the New York Post. But this one got me. This is the headline. Helicopters are making crocodiles horny. You can't turn away. You have to read it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, Sarah Harris, his project star, took him, and this is in Queensland, Australia. I guess she had to apologize to the Channel 10 bosses there because she had to get a little risque about how this happened. So, turns out that these helicopters are making the little crocodiles randy because I didn't know this. They think that it simulates a thunderstorm, and thunderstorms make them horny. And she can tell because she made this sound, and it was kind of graphic, I guess. I guess they slap their winky. I guess they do that kind of thing with it. You know what I mean? Like on the ground, start flapping it. So anyway, I saw the.
Ow.
Huh?
I said, ow.
Well, it depends. I mean, you got to let them know you're ready to mate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I saw that. We had to bring that up. We're getting into the goofiness right now. But I guess she was trying to be coy about it. But, yeah, it says the panel were discussing news that Queensland's male crocodiles are being driven into a mating frenzy by the sound and vibrations of a Chinook helicopter flying overhead. I don't know how she knew this or how she must be a real crocodile expert. They think the helicopter may have sounded like a thunderstorm, which can often get the reptiles feeling horny. Her co-star then questioned how experts can even tell when the crocs are aroused, and like I said, she's been doing a bit of a deep dive, but she explained that that's how they can tell. Or maybe the alligators, you take the female alligator out for drinks, or maybe a movie or something like that.
little hypnol,
little something there. And here's one too, and I like this story. There was a 14.5-pound baby born.
Oh,
okay. Now the reason I get the dad said when he was contacted, he said, "Yep, pound per inch." So 14.5-pound baby born. I guess this was up in
hello.
Yeah, this was up in Ontario. Yeah, really?
Hot dog down a hallway.
Now this is the reason I bring that 14 pounds 8 ounces, 14.5 pounds. Was born on October 23rd via cesarean section.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know how you squeeze that out, but this is a little bit of family info for everybody listening. My grandfather was born at 14 pounds.
Really?
Yep. Ask
I
my
was
mom.
9 even, which is considered to be on the larger side.
9 is a good sized kid, but yeah, my grandfather was actually 14 pounds when he was born.
Whew.
I mean, look at the size of that kid.
Did they have C-sections back then?
No. Well, I wouldn't say they didn't. I don't know. But I don't think it was cesarean section. I think it was natural. We're talking 90-some years ago.
Did your grandmother whistle while she walked?
Well, I don't know. But anyway, here's something else, too. This is a good one. Strange objects. See, I couldn't believe Fox News had this on there. These are some of the strange objects that get stuck in people's bodies. Did you read this?
Not this particular one, but stuff like this comes out all like a couple times a year. But yeah, let's hear some.
Okay, they're talking about a 10-year-old patient who had a clogged nasal passage, which was causing a lot of pain. Doctor said he figured it out, but the kid stuck a battery up there. Good thing it didn't leak. Here's another one for you. Some of the foreign objects they were talking about was in noses, gum wrappers, a used match, magnets, rice, candy hearts, yarn, jewels, gummy worms, orange pills, an LED light, flowers, cheese, popcorn kernels, and glue. Of course, then it took a turn.
I was going to say, these are just random stuff that kids will shove up their nose.
And I didn't think they'd go here, but then they started addressing things that were found in genitalia. For men, they said some of the foreign objects included, of course, toys, beads, paper clips, coins, a car key, a pencil, a nail, a ceiling fan chain. These were shoved in the penile.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah, cell phone charger and a wooden spoon. I guess that's a thing to go in the old urethra. I've never considered
feeling kind of sluggish, so you shove the old USB port.
And for women, they found coins, a screw, a pen, a drumstick, a flashlight, a drinking cup. Looking for my drinking glass. Somehow it got stuck in my boogie. Golf ball, nail polish bottle, and even a spatula. I got questions about the spatula.
Well, they were obviously just reenacting the great scene at the beginning of Stripes.
Yes. We tell them about that.
Bill Murray and what was his name?
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis, yeah, went back to a couple of female MPs barracks, and he was playing with her in the kitchen. And he got out a mixer, and then he started, sliding the old spatula under her rear, and I'm sure that's what this lovely lady was just doing. It's her favorite movie.
Some of the top items that were found in rectums.
Rectum damn near killed him.
Spoons, magnets, bottles, crayons, wrenches.
What size?
Yeah, we got questions.
Is this an Allen wrench, or is it a 4-inch pipe wrench? We got a big scope there.
Well, I'm sure you work up to the 4-inch pipe wrench. Action figures.
Nerd.
Yeah, a vegetable peeler, candles.
A what?
A vegetable peeler. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Where do people come up with this stuff?
A fishing pole. Are you?
A fishing pole and an ice cream cone. Some of the things found in rectums. So, yeah, a fishing pole.
Which end?
I don't know.
Again, I have questions.
My question is, what'd they catch?
Yeah. Was the real part of said pole? Like, was it a spinner? Was it?
They don't have pictures.
Trusty
of course,
Zebco?
They can't really go into this. Of course, Dr. Mark Siegel, good old Dr. Mark Siegel, chimed in. Of course, he said orifices are not made for foreign object intrusion unless it's a doctor doing it for investigative medical purposes. Thank you, Dr. Siegel, for that information. So now that I have just traumatized all the listeners, Deez, what do you got?
This is actually kind of old, but we just haven't got around to it. This was a New York Post. Oh, you sons of men. Click the link and it's gone. So anyway, the story was that NASA was planning to move Americans to the moon by 2040 and said that it was inevitable. And I would love to read the story for you, but apparently the New York Post doesn't want us to read it anymore.
Well, that's really interesting, Deez. I'm glad that you chimed in with that.
Did we talk about the pizzeria that got busted?
No, we did not. Also, let's have it.
There was a New York City pizzeria that got raided, and they found more than 100 pounds of drugs worth $4 million in this pizzeria. And some of the fun little drugs that they found were 42 kilos of coke, a kilo of heroin and fentanyl, 1,000 glassine envelopes of oxycodone and fentanyl, big rocks of cocaine, and about 100 vials of crack cocaine. Right there at your old favorite Mom and Pa pizza shop.
Wow! It's like, can I get a double pepperoni with extra cheese and extra smack on top of it?
Right. They found 5 kilos of coke wrapped in black tape and labeled R2. It was a traffic stop that got this all started.
Wow!
And then they traced it back to the pizzeria, and they found a kilo press and about $40,000 cash in the basement.
So obviously this pizza joint was a front.
For sure, yeah. It was a Mexican pizza joint called Mozzarella. I bet that's good though. Like
what, Mexican pizza?
Yeah.
Well, I bet they make taco pizzas.
Made by Mexicans?
But I tell you what, they're not making pizzas anymore.
Well, no, they're probably getting some dough pounded in where they're at and where they're going to spend.
Did you just go there?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. So a Mexican pizza joint, which was...
I admire their diversity, though. I mean, they weren't just coke dealers. You know, they had a nice wide variety for your average everyday junkie. So hats off to them.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. And, okay, we're coming up. We got one segment left. And, Deez, do you have any stories for this last segment we got coming up? I may just push it over to you for a little bit. What do you got? You got stuff? Tell me you got
for the
something.
next segment?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You going to feed me, Seymour?
I'll do my best.
Boy, I tell you what, it has been, let me see here, one hell of a week.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of stuff to cover. We've had to leave a lot of stuff out. And it's just so, 2 hours isn't getting it anymore, is it?
Not with the stuff going on from week to week, but...
It's hard, folks. I'm telling you, it's hard to pick and choose what the hell we're going to cover on this show. And I'm going to throw it over to Deez for this segment. He's got a whole bunch of saucy stories for you. Deez, let her rip.
This one first for you parents out there, and every day I thank my lucky stars I'm not one of them. Next time your kids... especially now as we're getting into the cold and snowy season, next time your kids start pissing and moaning about walking to school or to the bus stop, show them this little story, this clip of these kids in the coastal city of Santa Marta, Colombia, who have to basically risk their lives every day to get to their class. To get to the school, the children have to cross a makeshift bridge across an alligator-infested Garia River. Yes. And this, and I, in air quotes, bridge is made up of a rope that stretches across what looks like a 6-inch water pipe that goes across this river that is infested with crocodiles and alligators and all that stuff. So, yeah. Tell your kids that they should be so lucky.
Sounds like some Indiana Jones sticks going on here, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's pictures and video of these kids. Literally, it's one rope that strings across this thing. And they got backpacks on and everything. And they're basically...
It's a rope?
That they hold on to while they walk across a water pipe that is about a 6-inch pipe.
What kind of education could they be getting that's worth that?
I can't imagine it's of the higher caliber, but hey, at least they're going to school.
Probably slave labor.
So next time old grandpa tells you had to walk to school uphill both ways,
well,
say, yeah, well,
snow with my torn up shoes.
At least you didn't have to walk across a alligator-infested river on a 6-inch pipe to get to your class.
Da, 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 da.
And then we have over in, I believe it's the UK, we had a woman went to a restaurant with apparently her husband, date, whatever, and found a hair in her food and demanded to get a refund for the $16 meal, which, of course, if you're the restaurant owner, what choice do you have? You have to give them their refund,
have to comp
right?
them. Yeah.
Well, later he decided to look at the surveillance footage, and this scumbag ripped a piece of her own hair out and put it in her husband's plate after it was mostly eaten, and used that as the discovery, and basically got their refund for a whole $16.
Over $16.
How low do you gotta be to take and put one of your own hairs into the food to get a refund?
That's pretty bad.
Like, I know times are tough, economy sucks, but come on, this poor guy running this restaurant just trying to make a buck and keep your fat, disgusting.
Well, yeah, he's probably, you know what? Restaurateurs right now, restaurants and dining facilities, they're pulling out all the stops trying to keep afloat.
Yeah.
And not jack prices up. Mm-hmm. Because they know that it's so bad. I mean, they're running specials, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're cutting down hours. They're not giving their employees raises. They're trying to go to more of a tip system like we were talking about Subway. So yeah, that's bad. That's a butt-kicking offense right there.
Now, you remember a few months back we had the big beer thing, with Dylan Mulvaney and boycotts and everything?
Yeah.
I have the solution for everyone.
Let's have it.
Actually, I don't have it. Caitlin Siragusa has it.
Who is Caitlin Siragusa?
She goes by the name of Amoranth on Twitch. She's a very popular streamer. She's also got an OnlyFans. Big shock. Well, she has decided that she is going to start selling her own brand of beer.
What it?
With a Polish beer company called the Order of Yannis. And there's a special ingredient in this beer.
And do we want to know what it is?
Probably not.
Well, I bet you're going to tell us anyway, aren't you?
I am.
D's, good old D's.
She is, well, you know that they make beer with, barley and hops and
yeast.
Yeast.
Oh, no.
So she's going to use her very own...
be careful.
Hoo-ha yeast.
Oh.
Yes.
Smells like somebody's baking bread up in here.
She says it's hilarious. People will buy it for sure. I don't know if they'll actually drink it. I mean, they'll probably drink it.
No.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. People will drink this. People were buying chicks' bath water so that they could drink it.
This reminds me of Gwyneth Paltrow's snapper candles.
Hey, maybe.
It does. Remember when we did that?
They're gonna call it Bush Light. Not really, but I think that if they don't, they're missing out on a huge opportunity here. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Some jokes write themselves, folks.
They do. That they do.
And speaking of things that are a bit on the saucy side, a porn star's pet python bit her recording partner, scene partner, whatever, right on his schwim.
Oh, right in the baby maker?
Yes.
Oh, no.
An Australian porn star named Danny DeBello is talking.
How big was the snake?
Can I get which one?
Go ahead. My bad.
You mean the actual snake or the?
No, I'm not. Sorry to interrupt.
Trouser trout. She says, "I want to introduce you to Betty, and she's a centrillion carpet python. Again, some jokes write themselves. She's got 8 feet long.
Wow.
So after they filmed the little scene, the male co-star was like, "Hey, that's cool. I'm gonna take a shower real quick, and then I want to hold your snake because you already held mine." Anyway, gets out of the shower and
Hey,
she
Snikey.
hands him the snake and then goes to do something or whatever. And then she hears a blood-curdling scream come from the bathroom. And when she rushed in,
Snake fight.
she found that the actual python had sunk its fangs into the other python, snake, whatever we're going to call it.
Well, his snake had to be in good size if a python is biting it.
Yeah, probably looked like one of those little bald lab rats or whatever. But yeah, they had to basically pry the snake's mouth off and then examine for teeth, which pythons sometimes leave. And yeah, she said there's blood everywhere. So next time you're shooting a porn, make sure that your co-star doesn't have a pet python.
And that's why Aldonzo's not keeping any snakes in the house. Okay, this has been a great show. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll catch you next week here on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. This is Aldonzo out, baby.
See ya.